Hey guys, it's What Ifs here, and today I'm going to be doing What If Deku had a half sound, half silence quirk. You guys probably didn't expect to see me this soon, probably thought like, hey, we're going to have to wait a week until we see this dude again, I'm sorry about that, because, school, hard, and all of that. So, yeah, nothing really else to say except I promise you guys this will be coming out soon, so it is. And, yeah, without further ado, play my intro. Well, now that's done, let's get straight into it. So we start off with Izuku going to Melissa's hospital room, This is after he wakes up, everyone reads him, asks if he's okay, because, he had a lot of energy, so when, Recovery Girl healed him, he was fine. And he didn't really have much damage to begin with, so yeah. He goes to Melissa's room to see Melissa, and, yeah, because you guys said it's gonna be it. Because you guys voted for Izuku X Melissa in this one, I kind of have to do this. it. So, there was like nothing else except Deku X Melissa, so I gotta do this. So, I kind of like it, honestly. I kind of like it. So, Izuku goes to visit Melissa. And, when he sees Melissa on the bed, she's awake and all that, when she sees Deku, she smiles, and, Deku runs over, hugs her, starts crying because, she thought that, he lost her, at this, my dude said that, he likes her, was just taken back by this, but, oh god. Well, sorry for the background noise, my sister's here. So,
good morning, Nafna.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Ziana mentioned you moved into a new place.
Okay, so, he confessed. Melissa's a bit taken back by this, but she accepted, she says that, she likes him too, and, they start dating after this, my dude Kamnar was listening, and, he walks through the door, and he's like, oh, they're finally dating, and then, he says, yeah, so, yeah, so, now, we, skipped when they go to class, right, they're all in class. When the day ends, they're met by a giant group of, students. These students are people looking at the USJ. As I already explained the sports festival, these students are here to, check out the competition. Someone who just survived a villain attack. People ask why they're here. Bakugo responds being all cocky, and he's like, oh, they're here to check out the competition. And, he starts saying that, he's the only one here actually worth their time. And, Izuku comes up, he apologizes for Bakugo because Bakugo is a dick, so, yeah. And, Shinso says that, I always use arrogant pricks here, Izuku's a bit taken back by this, but, doesn't really care, So, yeah. Shinso was gonna talk some more, but Izuku was having enough of his bullshit, put on his headphones, snapped his left finger, silenced all of them, then, he grabbed Melissa and Kaminari, snapped his right finger, and he was all the way back home, because in this one, it doesn't have to be, actually, yeah, he just snapped his finger, multiple times, so, when he left, there was a sonic boom, Shinso be here thinking oh, he's a show off and all that, but they all said that no, he just doesn't like you guys because you guys are annoying. Shinso's a bit mad by this, and he tries to mind control one of them, but he's still in the silence zone, so he can't really do nothing. Because Izuku only put the silence zone around him, so he would stop talking. So yeah, he gets home, Aeon does the silence zone, so Shinso can talk again, and yeah. So now we go to the sports festival. Like, so, Izuku, they all get there. Izuku goes up to the podium to do the speech, He does... Actually, he doesn't do the speech. Actually, is it this one? Yeah, that's the speech. I don't think whether or not it's a big deal whether you have power or not. If you want it, you can get it. There's no need to get depressed because you don't have it. It won't affect whether you're a worthy human or not. It doesn't matter as long as you're confident about yourself. Why are people so envious of others? Why do people look down on others? Why does that happen? It pisses me off. And after this he says, I hope that everyone can realize that we're all equals. We weren't created equals, but in the end, we're all human. No one's immortal, except for someone who has an immortality quirk. So, yeah. The crowd cheers at this. They cheer at this. So, the students down below think that, he's not very arrogant. And, he just thinks that, he's actually doing some stuff. So, yeah. Sports festival, they're doing it. And, I'm pretty sure, stunt lighting's supposed to be faster than, sound, but it's because Kaminari is using white yellow lightning that he can't beat Izuku yet. So, yeah. So, Kaminari activates, his pre-created version of Godspeed, which is, him trickling yellow lightning throughout his body. His eyes start glowing, lightning starts circling around him like Deku Full-calling One for All. Said, it's not... Also, yeah, I gave One for All to Miriam. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I gave it to Miriam, just so you know. Because I'm pretty sure I said I was going to give it to Kaminari before, but I changed my mind, it's going to be Miriam. He doesn't have One for All, he doesn't need it. He's already strong enough about it. So, yeah, Melissa starts to channel white energy, she creates light wings, and, yeah. She creates light wings, and, she starts to fly up, Izuku puts on his headphones, kind of like how Nice is doing it, and, as soon as Midnight says go, before Totoro can even have time to, freeze the floor, they're already all gone, Izuku left for a sonic boom. There was a streak of lightning where Kaminari was, and there's just, a big, a long streak of white. This is, Melissa. So, right? Deku right now is in first place, He's not really running, he's kind of turning himself into sound waves, but, he's keeping a physical form so people can see him. He's moving very, very fast. He gets to the first robot in, a few seconds, he just completely destroys it, snaps his finger once, and then, suddenly there's a line in the middle of the robot, makes it explode. Kaminari just shoots a big lightning javelin at it. A javelin is a spear, if you guys don't know, so yeah. Javelin at it, it explodes. Melissa, puts her hand up, summons thousands upon thousands of light swords, and it hits all the remaining 0 pointers. Deku and Deku says show off, and Melissa says, but you love me, and he's like, that's a cheap hit right there, So they still run, When they get to the canyon, Izuku just snaps his finger twice, and this causes 2 sonic booms, which sent him all the way to the minefield. At this, Izuku, does what any sane human would do: jumps on the mines and propels himself to the finish line. And Kaminari just ran through it because he's fast enough to run through it without exploding, and mostly just flew over it. So at this happened very fast. So it happened in 1 minute. They announce it, it's all good. The teams are going to be different. It's going to be Izuku, Melissa, Kaminari, and me Hatsume, because why not, that's the team, They win it because I don't really want to explain the cavalry battle, and I don't really have much time. So this video is going to be shorter than my usual videos, but it should be fine. So, he does that. Tournament. Him versus Shinso, right? Shinso starts talking shiz because, he figured out that he was dating Musa, starts saying something like, oh, it must be nice having such a busty girlfriend, and, before he even finished the sentence, Izuku snaps his left finger, my dude silenced, and, Izuku, starts to, use Nihilist, because throughout the 2 weeks of training, because I forgot to mention they do 2 weeks of training, he, he trained to be able to use Nihilist and Ego, so he can use Ego to boost his own quirk, while he can also use Nihilist to erase other people's quirks. So, he started using Nihilist, his hair goes up, his eyes flash red. I was like, and then Prisma is like, oh, Aizawa, this kid seems to have your quirk. And and then Aizawa explains like he's his uncle, like that's my nephew. People are like, damn. And then he also explains that his name is Izuku Midoriya, and then people hear the last name Midoriya, they're like, wait, do they mean like? And then Eraserhead says, or Aizawa says, yes, he is the one and only he's Nice's great grandson, and people see the resemblance because Nice does look a bit like Izuku, and he has the same sound quirk. People are thinking like he's gonna make an amazing hero, like next number one. So yeah, he silences Shinso, and as soon as he activates Nihilist, there's a cold air, tension stop. Everyone is still talking, they're still cheering, because it's his last name is Midoriya. They're cheering because it's Nice's great grandson. And Maidu looks at directly at Shinso. Red eyes, Shinso scared, pantless, Maidu trying to run out the stadium, but then Izuku's to wax his hand. He's like, not on. That's that's not how we're gonna play this game. And he snaps his right finger. He teleports, or he moves the speed of sound all the way there. He kicks Shinso, and then he snaps his finger 5 more times. He moves so fast that people can't even see that he attacked Shinso until he lands and Shinso goes ragdolling everywhere. And he's at the stadium. President Midnight explains that he wins, and it's over. In this one, when Kaminari's facing the Divine Girl, all he uses is what was it called again? Yeah. What he uses would be what do I call it? Yeah, he's using his Godspeed. I'm pretty sure that's what I called it. Yeah, his pre-created version of Godspeed. Later on, I'm probably gonna call it Raijin because that's gonna be when he's using his blue lightning. So yeah, I'm gonna call it yeah. So it's called Godspeed. So he's using that. Sorry for the background noise. My sister. So yeah, pretty much he's using Godspeed pretty effectively. If I may so add myself. He wins. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Melissa is gonna take almost plan this. Melissa easily defeats who's it called? Easily defeats Tokiyami because her quirk is light, like goddess, so she can heal and all that. But her quirk is mostly based around light, which is Tokiyami's weakness. So she wins very easily. And then Aizawa says that Kaminari Denki, and then when people hear the last name Denki, they're like, wait, is he like? And then he says that yes, his birthday's because birthday was part of the 5. He has the ability to shock himself and use lightning from it. So yes, he's birthday's great grandson. Everyone's like, dang, the 5, like this, like two of the 5 are gonna like be here, and they're probably great friends because they can see it. So yeah. After
what you doing?
Talking to myself.
Why?
Because I want to.
I have you for make a video.
No, I'm talking to myself. Like I usually do that all day.
Fine.
I like talking to myself. Like that's how I do it. Like how else?
Okay.
Sorry guys, people don't know that I have a YouTube channel. So they win. Izuku fights with Todoroki, says the same thing. I'm not gonna do this fight scene, I got time, So Izuku puts on his headphones, Todoroki explains what his family did to him, Izuku says that, ooh, that's pretty bad, but still, you should, what's it called? You should actually use your power because you're here not using your full power. So he's then he doesn't Todoroki's still pissed. So Todoroki just starts using ice, right? And Izuku does what he's doing, right? Half his power. All he does is use sound waves to cut the ice. You know, Todoroki starts screaming for him to use his silence, and Izuku said, "Then you use your fire." And it's like Todoroki says, "That's different." And then Izuku says, "Is it really now? Because from what I see, it's just us holding back." And by this, he gets a flashback of his mom saying, "You want to become a hero, right? So don't hold back and all that, because I'm changing it a bit." So yeah, that happens, and Fire Nights, this is when Izuku, uses his sound, covers the whole stadium, and then my dude both attack. His sound waves are a lot faster and stronger whenever he uses silence. So they both collide, a massive explosion. Izuku's there barely standing, his feet is literally dug into the ground, while Todoroki's on the other side, like half his shirt gone, and yeah, pretty much it. So now I'm pretty sure it's Kaminari versus Ito. Kaminari easily defeats Ito. Then there's, who is it again? It's Melissa versus Bakugo. Bakugo just for plot's sake, she's gonna get stronger than Bakugo later, but just for plot's sake, Bakugo completely destroys her because he's Deku's friend or girlfriend. Deku's gets pissed by this. People can feel his hair starts to raise. Nihilus is going off. Kaminari is telling Deku to calm down, and Deku calms down, but he does say he will have his revenge. Because he's about to make Bakugo go sleep. So now I'm gonna skip semifinals. Is Bakugo and versus Deku, Kaminari versus who was it? I don't really care. It don't really matter. Kaminari wins that fight, so he's going on the finals. Bakugo starts bragging about how he beat Melissa. At this, Deku activates Nihilist at its fullest, and what he does? He erases Bakugo's quirk for the whole day, and he says, how does it feel? You beat Melissa with a quirk, but now you're quirkless. You piece of shiz, And he's Bakugo is telling him to give him back his quirk, to fight him like a man. And Izuku says that no, he's gonna have fun with this, He uses sonic disruption, I'm pretty sure that's what I called it, causes a massive field of sound waves, and slashes come from everywhere, cutting Bakugo. No one really cares because one, Bakugo isn't giving up or forfeiting. Two, Izuku's only giving him small cuts everywhere. And three, they kind of want to see him, wreck Bakugo because Bakugo's arrogant, and he wants that revenge for this is some Sasuke Uchiha type revenge, he want to see that blood spill, he want to see his brother dead. Sorry, but I love Itachi, guys. Like, if you guys don't love Itachi, then you guys aren't ever gonna be my friends. Like, if you guys hate Itachi, then ooh, you better watch out because in the night I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. Like shank. So yeah, that's the story. Deku defeats Bakugo pretty easily. He wins. Kaminari versus Deku. Now this one I'm actually gonna do. Izuku puts on his headphones. Because and then he supercharges them. This is when he puts his headphone on an all-time high. So they become sensitive. So they're able to work better. That happens. Kaminari activates his version of Godspeed. Yelling starts driving, and they start fighting. Like they're moving so fast that the only times they're seen is when they're landing attacks on each other. So it's like Izuku put a right hook, hit Kaminari goes back a bit, not out the ring, but he comes back, hits Deku right in the gut, Deku's hit, and they keep on going back and forth like this. I start asking why he's not using Nihilist, because Nihilist is not gonna work because for two reasons. One, he's not channeling the right emotion to use it, and two, he's mostly excited. So what's he really gonna do? So yeah. So instead of using Nihilus, he decides to use Ego. His eyes turn yellow, his hair, the white in his hair starts to get a golden tint, kind of like All Might's hair. People are confused by this, and Kaminari says, "Ha, so we're finally going serious, are we?" And my dude pulls off Raijin. You guys know what Raijin is? It's when he uses white lightning to around his body to make him very fast. As fast as natural lightning, which comes from the sky. It's putting a massive strain on his body because it's incomplete. He'll complete it in the next episode, no worries. But it's still incomplete, so Deku himself is pushing himself to use Ego, and his quirk evolves. He doesn't have to snap anymore. All he has to do is just like move, and he can put sound waves. That's what Ego does. It kind of helps your quirk. So yeah, that happens. Yeah, that happens. They're fighting. Very very fast. It makes All Might versus All for One look like child's play. The arena is bursting. They decide it's time to use their final moves. Izuku charges up, channels all the sound he can into the into this type of like javelin, like a spear, and he silences the whole entire stadium, so no one can hear nothing. And Izuku says one last attack, and Kaminari can't talk, so he just nods at this. Kaminari channels all his lightning into the air. He shoots it up. Ooh. If you guys ever seen Sasuke do that, raise his hand up, I would have made Kaminari do some audio, but hey, he's in silence, so he can't do nothing. So Izuku throws his javelin, and then Kaminari brings his hand down. As Kaminari brings his hand down, he thinks Kirin, becoming the Thundercrab Kirin, Lightning Dragon comes down, and the Lightning Dragon, like, they have a little clasp, eventually the spear and Lightning Dragon mix together, and they explode. Izuku's on the floor, and so is Kaminari. Kaminari's out the stadium, just barely, like by a foot, while Izuku's still in, and he raises his thumbs up, and he says, "Hey, I won." People start, he activates silence zone, people start cheering, he gets the medal. So, he came in first, Kaminari came in second, Bakugo came in third. So, I don't know, Bakugo came in fourth because, but Deku injured him so much that I wasn't able to actually, he didn't have enough energy to get healed by Recovery Go completely, so he couldn't really fight, I'm pretty sure it's someone else, don't really know, don't really care. So, yeah. That's the end of it. Sorry, this one was, shorter than usual. And yeah, peace out.